So we'll break it down. We'll start with, we have what is our take, a replication of the classic Czech potato pancake. We decided that is simply a tot.
It's a tot.
It's a classic tater tot, right?
Yeah.
You've got potatoes, salt and pepper, maybe a little garlic, depending on what you seasoned it with, and then of course the oils that you bake, fry, are already in there, right? And then of course we went with the fried cheese. Actually, so classic potato pancake. I'll probably actually just put these in the description because I can't really say it, but Bramboráky, Czech potato, and then the fried cheese. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try and pronounce that, but so Czech fried cheese, and then to top off our entree here, we went with our version of what would be the Czech chicken schnitzel, and which is chicken strips, right? Now Chelsea's a vegetarian, so
Vicken.
Yeah,
Veggie chicken Vicken strips.
Yep. So plant-based chicken options. So you're really getting that same texture, same look.
Yep.
You know, a lot of the same smells going on. Is it handmade from scratch? No, but like you get the point, right? We're covering all the ingredients and the texture. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, we needed a sweet because Czechs love their sweets, and it's a whole meal, right? And I love sweets. It's the classic Czech honey cake. This one
Liz did make this from scratch.
I actually did make that one. That one I think I can say the Medovník.
And the cheese. That
And
was
the
also
cheese.
made.
Yeah, we made the cheese. We made the honey cake.
And if you can't tell, I'm not going to be super helpful with my stuffy nose. So Liz is going to be taking the lead on like how this is actually pairing. I can kind of taste stuff.
And then just to throw a big ringer in it.
Yeah.
That is a dollop of Dean's French dip in the middle. Sour cream and onion.
Same.
Same thing.
Same.
So we're really excited. But we're going to start. These are what we're going with here. Classic, the Pilsner Urquell. And then we also wanted to do, obviously, a Colorado craft brewery. So with the Woods Boss, Czech Pilsner, Czech Dan Pilsner, I think is what it says up there. And then we've got the Czech Bar, Czech Bar, the classic Czech lager.
Yep.
And then from Crystal Springs, we're doing their Czech dark lager.
Yep.
So each are going to have a little bit different notes for each piece of our entree, and then of course the honey cake. These two will probably be pretty similar, but of course this is classic. We can't go without that. But all right, and then we'll treat it as a
we're doing a full flight.
Eventually.
Yeah, we're basically gonna do one, so you can get it pouring.
All right.
We're gonna pop one, put it in our glasses, go through all the different options, see how well they pair, whether they contrast or complement each other, and kind of just talk through the notes on it, and then we'll go to the next beer, do the same thing, getting through all of it. Well, thank you. So nice of you.
Oh, every now and then.
Make sure it was still recording.
Yeah, we're good.
All right.
So classic Pilsner Urquell, right? It should be crisp, refreshing, light body, hot bitterness, maybe a little floral, maybe a little spice going on. Going with the tot. Mm-hmm. I'm going with the drinks. On Thursday I've been talking.
Liz isn't used to that.
Delicious. What do you think of that tot?
So we did cheat a little bit earlier, and we pounded through our other batch of tots, so we downed it with another Pilsner. But it's just so good. The hoppiness from the Pilsner really does complement the kind of oiliness of the potato and the savoriness of it.
Yep.
Honey bread's so honey, it's so good.
Yeah, it takes like So again, the chicken strip is supposed to replicate a schnitzel. This isn't going to be as crispy. I mean, it can be as a schnitzel, or I think those are often a thicker crust than what this is giving.
Yeah, I think so too.
But this is still great. It really brings out the flavor of the chicken. Kind of cuts through that sort of fattiness in the breading, I guess. Like grease.
Yep.
Yeah, I think, again, end of the day, it's going to complement and cut that grease, that potato, chicken, cheese. Potato, chicken, cheese, man.
It just pops the cheese flavor so much.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's because like since we're saying like it's cutting through the grease, it's like making the cheese flavor be more predominant.
Sure, it gives it more of a center stage.
Yep.
So to speak.
I'm excited to see what you think with the bread.
Mm-hmm. I'm so excited about the chicken. I just love chicken. Honestly, it brings out more of the floral of the Pilsner.
Okay.
More of the hot bitterness for me.
Okay. I feel like we had almost the exact same facial expression. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
It actually reminded me of like a cask beer,
Okay.
right? Because usually it's a little bit more honey as they put that in to help it carbonate in the little keg. So it made me think that it was more of like off like a beer engine or something.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool.
Sweeter.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just overall makes sense.
But it's like just like the sweetness with like the hoppy to me always just makes the hops a bit too much.
Sure.
But then it kind of chills it out a little bit at the end. And
Yeah.
just made it really sweet. Like usually I feel like with the Pilsner and the rest of these bites, the Pilsner was just like kind of refreshing and like cleansing out the palate, where like this ended with the sweet. Like it not over dominated, but it at the end of it that was the predominant flavor for both, was the sweet of the honey and not the beer.
Well said.
The Czech Dam Pilsner. Ready?
Almost maybe a little grassy. Interesting.
I mean, those are definitely the notes I'm not catching, but that's the...
Oh, yes. Ooh, such a different color.
Yep.
Right?
A lot lighter.
A lot lighter. Compared to the Urkel, the golden. I always think of like Rapunzel's hair is the Urkel.
You can see the color difference.
Yeah.
I would smell it. I'm going to pretend like I can smell it. Oh, I get a little bit. It smells like a lager.
It does.
From my
Well, it is a lager.
by one nostril, I can get air in through.
You're like, oh, it smells great. Yeah, same.
Oh, see, I thought the sweetness of this like carried through. It didn't like cut through the grease quite as much for me.
Sorry, agree. It definitely, the tot lingers longer. So next time you're having chicken strips and fries, or you're ordering it for the kids, it's a classic Czech meal. Order them a Pilsner.
Yeah, I was like, that's where I thought you were going. Just be like, put a Pilsner in that bottle for them and they'll sleep great.
I like the beans with the chicken.
Yeah. The beer and the chicken didn't do oodles. The chicken didn't do oodles for me. I feel like
I think I like the hops. These hops a little better. But then the noble Saz, what hops did they use? I feel like I want to guess.
It says it on the other side.
Does it?
Yeah. And so, definitely different. I think a lot of times when I'm wanting a Pilsner, it's because I kind of want like a lighter IPA. So I want more of that bitter. So like I feel like this, when I'm craving a Pilsner, more would hit the spot. But if I was like, oh, I want like a hoppier lager, that would like nail that for me. It's a little bit sweeter, a little bit lighter, not so much like hop forward up front.
Sure.
So it just kind of depends the mood. If I'm like, I just want to slam a lager, but I want a little bit of flavor, that might be like my summer beer this next summer.
I mean, they crushed it.
Yeah,
it's
great.
Super Sazer and Haller Tower Tradition.
Obviously, would you have guessed those?
Well, I was gonna go with Saz. I feel like if you're doing a Pilsner, you have to do the sauce, but it's a Super Sazer.
Super sauce.
Whatever.
Super gal.
I haven't got that far down the hop train. I'd actually really brought out the flour for
It's
me.
really good with the bread.
Hello.
Yeah, it was really good. And it like, I still had like a big chunk of the bread, and all the bubbles like went into the bread and made it just go.
Look at that.
It was like pop rockets in my
Still got
on
legs.
my tongue. It was great.
Pop rocks on the tongue.
Pop rocks, pip ricks, whole cone Saz hops, Moravian malt, and natural soft water in our brewery in the Czech Republic.
Sounds like a Pilsner, not a lager. See, this looks more, Like the Urkel.
Yeah.
Cheers.
It's a little flatter though.
Oh, totally different smell.
Yeah, it's like from what I can
Very
tell.
malty. That brings the grease right out. I do like licking a frying pan every now and then.
I was thinking it actually made, I don't want to say the tots sweeter, but like kind of sweeter. Less savory.
Yeah.
Which I feel like sweet isn't quite the right word, but it definitely made it less savory.
Yeah. Mine was, I feel like I got the opposite.
Ooh.
I thought it was more savory. I like the cheese with that.
I do think it really mellows out the cheese flavors. Or those really like popped it because it cut through the grease. This to me just kind of like chills out the cheese flavor in general.
Yeah, because I think it's more complementary to the grease. The malt,
Yeah.
perhaps.
Yeah, totally could be.
The Tasmanian honey. Thanks, Troy. It's gone now, by the way. It's such a different kind of honey, too. I feel like it's almost more clovey.
It is very clovey. See, that's
and the cinnamon, and I added about a teaspoon of cinnamon. That's what I asked for. I added a shit ton more flour because, excuse the pain.
It's the yeast in the beer.
Oh.
It's where I got a lot more of that lager yeast. Like, immediately, just like, boom, lager yeast.
I can smell.
It's probably because it's sweeter than the malts in the beer, so it's like making the other. This sweet's overpowering that sweet, so it's making something else pop.
I get a lot of just carbonation too.
All right, we have one more.
One more.
We're just getting heavier.
I could literally fall face first in this Dean's and take a nap. I feel like both of us is just like,
I'm so tired.
These guys put the beer and food pairing suggestion on the can.
Do. Yeah, there it is.
Crystal Springs.
All right. Rich, dark, malty, and complex with notes of toffee, raisin, roasted malts, and milk chocolate, and a bit of bitter in the finish.
This whole
But
can, I love the can.
They
put so much on one can.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. There's more places. Could, should. It's a great. It makes the experience better, right? You're just adding more to it.
The beer is such a bigger flavor compared to the tot.
Yep.
The malty, the roasty. It does definitely have that bitter. Actually, it brings that bitter finish out a bit more.
It's a really bitter finish on it.
I like that.
I would say more than a bit.
Yeah, fair. I like it.
Not that it's bad, it's just more than a bit. I didn't really like it with the tot that much. Like you said, it just overpowered it. So it just was kind of there.
I'm so
you said the
excited for
chicken?
Yeah, the chicken's great. Roasty, malty, savory. Definitely kicks the bitter out of bed, I thought.
No, it brings out the pepper.
Nice. She said she's not sensitive to spices.
It's got like a big old wave. The first drink it didn't. It definitely like. I was thinking I don't know if it was like the sweetness with it, but it was like almost like a gravy-esque. Just like how it like flowed with it. It kind of gave me like a gravy vibe. And then the second drink where I had more chicken and less beer, like just popped that pepper for me.
More chicken, less beer.
Yeah.
A dark Czech lager and a honey cake.
Uh-oh.
If you have not had those, and you're in any realm a fan of ginger snaps.
There's your jam.
Oh my god. I'm so excited right now. Like, I feel like it was like, oh, you have cinnamon and you have clove? Let me just slap you in the face right now. It's so good.
Yeah, definitely the best with that. I think this one with the cheese was my favorite. Oh,
The Woods Boss.
Woods Boss with the cheese. This with the bread. You really like that with the chicken too. The dark with the chicken.
I like. Well, I'm still on a dark beer kick. It's still winter.
I think if I were to, I would go this with the chicken, not with the tots. If I were to like pair and pair down the line of what my favorite ones of what they paired with.
I think I'm on that, pretty much on that same page. What was your overall favorite?
I'm gonna give it to the Woods Boss.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think if I was craving like the hoppier pilsner, I would totally go for this one.
Yeah.
But like I think I will probably end up with this in my fridge for the summer. So that's why it is.
I assumed they made it regularly if I was able to find it at the liquor store.
Fair. Oh, she caught that.
Yeah, this one I'm gonna go with you. The Urkel with the tater tots. I think they're just generally, it's just a great compliment to one another. Very balancing. Oh gosh, I actually think I like the lager with the cheese.
Okay. Oh no, I did it again. So good.
But I thought this one paired well with the tots, the cheese, the chicken, well. And then I'm just gonna go back to the dark lager. That's my overall favorite.
Okay.
I obviously have a bit of a sweet tooth. Some of my favorite flavors are like ginger snaps, and so I'm being incredibly biased right now. So the honey cake and the dark lager like sent it over the edge for me. But I don't think it like took away from
minus the
this.
top.
Yeah, it did. It did take the. Yeah, so you gotta
the out of the top.
Subtract it.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It didn't have that top punch.
Didn't have the top punch.
Yeah, fair.
It's like eating a French fry.
You know what's crazy? Yeah, right.
The battle of the tot.
Wait, is it fry or tot?
It's tot. Always pick tot. We'll always
is it just because they're like cute and little and circular? You wanna?
They have a way better texture. They have more flavor because they're like bulkier.
I'm gonna get a little controversial, and I'm gonna say the Woods Boss and the Crystal Springs, hands down, beat tradition in this meal for me. But when in Czech, I will crush some Urkel and some Czech bar.
If you look at our top 10, that's coming up after this. Are either of these even on our top 10? You'll have to watch to find out.
See them?
We're like, we're sleepy.